Hello and welcome to my video. Welcome to a Emma kind of tutorial video log series of all of her content. Now all the content that I'll show you is all made basically from scratch. So if you want to learn to draw, if you want to learn to sketch, if you want to learn to animate it, bring it to life, give it sound, give it animation, 2D, 3D, doesn't matter, I want to teach you. So this video is, as you can see, the entire world fits on the table. So I suppose you could call it a table of content. So whatever you want to call it. Emma is a young girl. She goes from age 1 to age 90 in my game mode. I've never really seen anyone do this, so I'm thinking, okay, I want to try and make a new video character for a video game that I'm trying to make. So first of all, I need to make up all of the assets. Her world is called Red Band Alley. That's the world. It's all about a young girl with no weapons in the game world, and she has to kind of go on an adventure and solve the quest. That's what it's all about. It's all about basically the young girl growing up. That's basically what it's about, and all of the things that she interacts with, depending on the things I make. I'm trying to add mermaids, all sorts of things. So I'm just trying to think of all the things that's actually in the game world. You got vampires, werewolves, fairies, talking animals. As I said, there's a whole range of things that very soon I will show you. Down here on the TV, I will show you this TV for a moment. Down on this video here, I will be releasing very soon a different video collection. This is for the younger generation. It's called A1 Book Box Blender Bite-Sized Tutorials. It's all about a young girl. This girl here is called Emma. Now, I'm thinking, let's say you want to make an adventure game on your own, whether it's 2D or 3D, doesn't really matter. So I think first of all, you've got to create all of the items, all of the everything that you need for the game mode. So let's say she's like a private investigator. She wouldn't be because she's too young. But let's say she was. Let's say she's going on an adventure. So if she comes in a room, she wants to search the bag, the bin. She wants to open the letters. She wants to do a drawing. She wants to drink a pop out of the cup. She wants a box for the storage. So anyway, I want to show you how to do all this. I will also show you later on how to navigate the 3D world so you can walk around. But of course, before we do all that, we need to create all the content. We need to create the skeleton, which we need for our character to move. And I will explain the character. Now, as you've just seen the skeleton on the screen, is actually a skeleton. This is how the skeleton actually looks inside your character. I'll show you nothing like the actual skeleton. It looks like this. I will show you how to make a very simple skeleton. Not like this one. This one's a bit more complicated. But I will show you how to make a proper, really good skeleton so your character can move. Obviously, this character does a lot. So she's got a lot of different bones and so forth. So anyway, that's kind of how it works. So I'll explain, as I say, step by step, click by click, point by point. There's no point me talking about something if I don't really know about it. So if I'm going to explain something, I'm going to tell you about the whole thing, the whole process. So like cupboards and things like that. So let's say you download any of my objects. Let's say you do. Very soon I'll have a book available for Emma. So when it's available, I will tell you about it. And if you want to download it, it's absolutely 110% free of charge. Everything in the book has no license, it has no copyright, nothing. Once you download my 3D content, it becomes your content. You can customize it, twist it, bend it, shape it, mold it, take it apart if you want to. You can use any part of the model in any which way you want. You can put it in a game, put it in a render, make a video about it, put it back on your channel. It's up to you. If you customize and change and shape, twist, bend any of the content, maybe you can make something else look better than what I did. If you can do that, great. I'll come back and look at your content. And if I like let's say what you do to the settee, what you do to the wall unit, brilliant. If it's better, I'm going to download it. If it's still free, and I'm going to add it back to my collection. I will give you the thanks for it. If obviously you go around and alter, change, modify it, it doesn't matter. But it's got to be your content. You've got to. As I said, if you download my content and you customize my content, and then I upload it back to the website, you can't put no restrictions on it. I don't want no restrictions. I'm trying to get rid of all the restrictions. I'm thinking, I've seen some fantastic game characters on the internet. I really have. Some of them obviously not free. For the best ones, they're not free of charge. They're really not. And I'm thinking, even when you download them, they, they come down with a big pile of restrictions. I'm thinking, I don't want them characters. I don't. I want a character that I can use, twist, customize, bend, and shape. And I don't want no restrictions. I want to just take the character, take the object, stick it in the game world, and thinking, you know what? I created that, and then just stick it in the world. So I'm thinking, no, I did create all of the objects that you can see, but I'm saying once you download them and if you want to put it in your game world and you want to mess around with it, you can. I said all of my content is all free of charge. I'll just make sure that everyone understands that. You don't have to ask for permission from anybody. Just open the thing. At the moment, you have to go under the video and click the download link. But I'm trying to make everything completely, utterly portable, so you can basically take it with you if you want to. So I think if I make a book, which is going to be 100% free of charge, no charge now or in the future, just download the book when it's available. You look up whatever object that you want, click on the photograph that's inside the book, just click it. It will go directly to that object, and then if you want to download it, just click save it to your computer, save it to your downloads, and then put it wherever you want to put it. It's up to you. It's going to be that easy. Okay, if there's a certain thing that I didn't do, leave a comment under that particular video. Let's say that, okay, well, you made a cupboard, we didn't animate it. I think, okay, yeah, I will animate everything. Really. If you can animate it, I will. So I'm giving you the basic content. I'll show you. If you go here, as I said, all my content comes apart. If you click on the drawer, let's say go here, move it. If I want to open the drawer, I can open it. I can take the drawer out. I can actually even go physically inside the unit, which most game objects you can't do this. Okay, and you can see the whole drawer is made inside and out, just in case you actually want to basically open and close the drawer. As I said, I can pick any drawer I want. I can do this drawer if I want to. As I said, it doesn't matter which drawer. So let's open up all the drawers because we don't want to close, we want to open them. Because Emma's come over here. Thanks, Emma. And she's opened up all the drawers for us. But I don't have an animation for that. But that's kind of, let's say that's what happened. It wasn't me, it was Emma. It wasn't, it was me. Just to let you know that. So I think, okay, let's go over to the shelving unit. If I click the cushion on the chair, as I said, everything is totally separate. Obviously, the center pivot point is not on it, so I'm going to go here, set the center pivot point to origin, take the cushion off the chair, and maybe I want to stick it on the floor or the chair. So I'm thinking, okay, let's just go to the cushion, go here. Maybe Emma's carrying the cushion, maybe Emma's through across the room, because maybe she's having a bit of a tantrum to herself. So let's just kind of stick it on the floor by the chair. So I was thinking, okay, so that's what's happening. Maybe she's holding it. It's up to you. Now, as I said, all my little worlds have got hidden gems. Even the TV stand, it's not great, it's not brilliant. It's something out of the 70s. So I'm thinking, okay, it's kind of basic with a modern TV on it. We can take the cupboard out. As I said, everything is made perfectly and properly. The only thing you will probably find with my models is if it's something that's square, I haven't beveled the edges. The edges are not smooth. The only thing, if I need to bevel it, I will. If you look at the setting, I beveled the top of the chair, look, but I don't want the arms completely beveled. I want a kind of nice straight edge on the inside. I don't mind beveling that edge and around this part. See the edges? They are. Like this one here, look, is curved, this is curved, this is slightly curved, but I don't want the inside curved. I don't, that's just my preference. So I think, okay, so as I said, I'll show you the two units. Okay, now this one unit here is an OBJ unit. It's all glued together. But if you put it in, I'll explain the OBJ to you after. Even though it's an OBJ, all of the shelving units are all separate. Even though if I click one, like this one here, where you look, if I click these, they're all separate. It's because I've actually separated them all. This one is, they're all separated, but they look like it's one unit, but it's not. The cupboard itself is separate. So I can click on the cupboard, move the cupboard, click on the shelving, move the shelving, if I want to do that. If I go to these shelving units over here, before I actually talk about that, if you click on this little pot here, you can take the top off it. As you can see, it's got an underneath the top. You can take the remote control, take some money, put it inside it. Maybe you want to hide it from somebody. put the top back on it so no one knows it's in there, get the plant pot, put it back on top so nobody thinks about looking inside the pillar. Of course, maybe somebody will find it, but I don't know. So you can go to the unit over here, obviously just send it. If I take my shelving unit apart, like this, look, all of my geometry, as I said, it's all made perfectly. Look, you see the shelves on it? Inside my unit, I've got little pieces of shelf to stick out. The reason why I added that for, because some people basically, how they model, they just take an object, they kind of just stick it inside of the unit and leave it. I'm thinking, yeah, that's kind of good. But if I apply gravity to the world, I'm thinking I want the shelf to be able to fall actually off the unit. And that's why I made it like this. So I'm thinking, okay, if you apply gravity, and let's say this unit here, let's say the whole unit fell over, every single shelf, because it's actually on a bracket, basically on like a piece of wood, if the unit falls over, every shelf is going to fall out. It is. So that's why I made everything separate. And not only that, you might not want the whole unit, you might only want the shelf. You might only want the actual unit itself. So if you only want the unit itself, then of course all you have to do is click on my unit and say, I don't want your shelving, it's no good, but I'm going to keep the actual unit. Then of course you can do that if you want to do that. I can't do it with this unit because obviously it's all part of one. This is the parent of this. So I should have to do with this one. So if I click on this one, and then I should have to basically completely separate the unit. As I said, I do make them parents. You see like that is the parent of the actual object. But as I said, if you go into Blender, go here, and you look down the menu, go in options, go to parent. If you clear the parent, basically, so it's not a parent no more, all the shelving will become separate, and the unit will be able to, basically you have just a bare basic shelf of a unit. As I said, all the shelving units, all the I did ones, I haven't just took a piece of wood and stuck it on the shelf and think, oh yeah, it's done. If you actually look at the shelf, I've actually cut around the corners. So if you take the shelf out, if you actually take the shelf out, you'll notice that the corners have actually been cut out of the piece of wood. Just so it all fits in here nicely. So if, let's say, you apply gravity to it, if you've done that, of course, the shelves wouldn't fall on the floor. And if the unit fell over, the shelves wouldn't fall on the floor necessarily, but they will fall up and forward because they can't fall out because of the lip in here. Of course, if you lift it up and tilt it, you can take them actually out the unit. As I said, anyway, that's kind of my geometry. So in the next part of the video, this is like a video log tutorial series of all of my content so I can explain it to you. Let me just go back to unit, so I want to explain to you about unit. In the next video, I'll be explaining, if you go here, go edit mode, go into edit mode. Now, in order to create a 3D world, a 2D world, take photographs of it, whatever you want to do, you have to click on a point, one single little dot on the screen, and then go to extrude. Click here and stretch it. So you see this little dot here in my hand? It'll be hard to see, but yeah, you get the idea. I'm going to show you how to make an entire world like this, all from a single dot on the screen, like a little pencil mark. So I'm going to show you, as I said, out of all of this content started life as a little dot on the screen. So I had an idea in my head, I kind of sketched it on a piece of paper, I put it into Blender and I kind of modelled it off that. Of course you can go on the internet, download some reference picture and you can model off that. But not all reference pictures are free, and you sometimes, most of them are copyrighted, so you can't really use them. As I said, all of my content is absolutely free of charge. So as I said, let's zoom into here. Let's pretend now Emma's sitting down, and I want to pretend on Emma for a moment. So I want to go into Emma's eyeballs. So Emma's here. Now don't forget, I'm inside the 3D world. So I'm looking around as if I'm Emma. I want to look at the ceiling, look at the TV, I want to look over here. So this would be you as Emma walking around the world. But of course, the world's not here yet, so we're not actually doing that. And of course, you wouldn't be doing it with a mouse. You would be doing it probably with a joypad, a joystick, whatever you want to use. Maybe the keyboard. It's up to you, whatever you want to use. So I'll give all the options in the game mode. So if I go and look at Emma, as I said, I'm going to show you everything from the skeleton to the sound to the colours to animating, all from absolute nothing. So you won't really find many series that actually show you from the absolute beginning of nothing. As I said, I don't like. Eventually, I'm going to make some content that's going to look like someone else's, and I don't want someone saying, "Hang on a minute, that looks like my content." It's not your content. It is my content, and it's free content. As they don't need no license, no money, no nothing. It's all free. So if you want to use it, just grab my objects, download it, put it in the game world, and do with it as you like. As I said, the type of animations I'm making, I'll show you Emma. So I'm going before I finish the video. So I want Emma to take a seat. We want her to stand up. Now this is the kind of animation that I'll be teaching you. So as I said, the whole point of the animation, this little short animation, is to show you how the character moves. So this is not my blueprint of Emma. This is the actual blueprint. So I want you to notice how she bends, twists, and things like that. Now she doesn't have any thighs, no hips, no calf muscle, no chest area. She doesn't have it. So as I said, the t-shirt is the upper part of her body. The trousers are her lower part. So just in case you're wondering if she actually had a body or not, she don't have a body. She don't have one. She don't need it. She don't need a character. So I'm thinking, okay. And I'm thinking, okay, so if you watch, because she's not that tall, because she's only 12 years old, in this part of the scene, so as she sits down, her legs should come off the floor, just like in real life. And when you sit down, because she's not that tall, her feet don't touch the floor. Now, if you watch how she stands up, her feet will actually go to the floor. Not see there, look. You see it just there is perfect. But watch. You see there, her foot's actually gone through the floor, through the floor, through the floor, and then it goes back to normal. So I just need to fix that animation part just slightly. Now, of course, if obviously you're doing that in the game mode, first of all, let's hide the actual skeleton. So if you watch her feet, don't forget normally most characters got shoes on, so you probably would notice that. So this is my character. As I said, in the game mode you'll do that. You're not going to really notice that a foot goes through the floor. You do here because it's a tiled floor. But if you had carpet on the floor, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. You really wouldn't. But as I said, I know it's there, but it's only a rough animation. So I'm just kind of showing you the kind of animation that I am making. So I apologise for that, for the actual game mode. So as I said, if you want to, let's say, look at the camera systems, like I want a camera system for this world. That's nice and easy. So if I click on a camera and look through the camera, this is the far away shot. I can turn the camera around to where I want it. And I can just go to here, go to render. I can render that shot. Just in case I want it for a 2D game or a 3D game, doesn't matter. Maybe a 2D game. So give it a couple seconds. That's how the world looks. So I can get here. Bit too much light going on. This is not my light, by the way. This is the default light in Blender. So I said, not too great, but you know, I'll sort the light out. I will. But as I said, it's not about the lighting, not about render. It's about first making the 3D assets. So first one, make assets. So we're going to change camera position. Now we're going to look into the drawers. We can render that. If you want to render that, go in here, render the drawers. So Emma's come along and Emma's opened the drawers. Of course, we have the animation for that. So we can actually see Emma standing here. Or maybe she's sitting on the chair, opening the drawers, looking in the drawers, see what's in there. Then of course we can change the camera to this one. Look at her from behind. Look at her opening the drawers. Then of course we can go here. Take another look at Emma, thinking, hang on, now she's standing up. So I'm going to sit her down and I'm going to render her. Now this will be the shot obviously of her sitting down, like that. I said, do you mind standing up for us, Emma? So all you do is you move into the first part of the scene. Of course, you'll put some voice on it, say, okay, I'll do that. And of course, now she's standing up. Now of course, you could actually animate the whole thing like that. So of course, if it was a proper 3D world and you got it all set up, not with all like. Now of course, when you're making the game world, at the moment my game world is all RGB, it's all colours, that's all it is. There's no textures in here. It's just a plain colour. So my game's gonna look all brand new, all kind of, perfect, more or less. But I think no scratches, there's no nothing anyway. But later on, I'm gonna add the scratches to my RGB content. You say, well, how can you do that? I've got a way to add scratches to my RGB that I've noticed no one else has ever done it, I don't think. not that I can find anyway. So I think, okay, can I make something look old and tatty, even though it's not old and tatty? I mean, yep, I can do that, and I can just use colour for it. I think that's great. I think it's brilliant. So I'm trying to keep my content as good as possible, but as low in quality as possible. So anyway, you'll get the awful point. So if you want to watch part two, come back, watch part two. And in part two, I'm going to be, as I said, I'll be showing you a very simple little point on the screen. So at first, it's not going to look too impressive. We're going to have this little dot. See that little dot up there? We're going to have that, and we're going to build an entire room. Well, not an entire room. Eventually, we will build an entire room, and then we're going to build an entire level, all from absolutely nothing. That way, if you share it, you can say, yep, I made it, I'm sharing it, and it's absolutely free of charge. As I said, this is Emma's content on Blender on my table. Anyway, very much, as you say, thanks very much for watching my videos. I very much appreciate it. Thank you to all my subscribers. I am trying to give you some really kind of great content. I really am. And a lot more in the future. Stay with me. I very much appreciate it. And stay safe. Keep you friendly. See you soon. Bye.